Welcome to Survivor Scale, the show where we break down all of horror's greatest characters to find out who has the skills, experience, and mentality to be the ultimate survivor. I'm H2 Mass, and today I'm breaking down every main character in John Krasinski's 2020 quarrelsome quest, A Quiet Place, Part 2. Where the Abbott family must take on new challenges as they leave their home and cope with the loss of their father. We start the film on day 1, with a not-so-dead Lee picking up some oranges and water as he walks to a grocery store. Boasting his healthiness, he takes a chunk out of an apple and burns some more calories as he walks to a baseball game just in time to see his son step up to the plate. Instead of swinging at the ball though, Marcus looks up and notices what seems like a meteorite plummeting near them. While the crowd hesitates to react, Lee displays a sense of urgency as he immediately gathers Reagan and rushes towards safety. In search of some useful information, Lee then demonstrates his proclivity for preparation when he asks his friend Emmett if his military brother has told him anything about the meteor. Unfortunately though, he hasn't. This is what they're doing with my taxes? Still trying to find information on the meteor, Lee talks to a nearby police officer but gets interrupted when one of the aliens collides into the cop car. Trying to hide, Lee grabs Reagan and guides her into a nearby restaurant, where they see others with the same idea. As most of the townspeople inside try to stay silent, one of them whispers a prayer to himself, but Lee displays his awareness when he covers the man's mouth, desperate to stay hidden from the creature listening just outside the door. His efforts go in vain, however, when someone's ringtone sounds and alerts the alien, so Lee grabs Reagan and runs before the creature jumps in and attacks everyone inside. The two of them manage to escape the restaurant and make it back to the police officer, who fires at the creature with a shotgun, but to no success at all, ending the flashback and pretty significantly raising Lee's grade from B tier in the first film up to A tier over both films. Back to the present, we pick up right after the end of the first film, with the remaining members of the Abbott family preparing to leave their home after they see a fire signal a few miles away. Stimulating any unchecked foot fetish, they embark on a journey to the source of the signal, but as they close in on it, Evelyn showcases only average observational skills when she walks into a tripwire that releases a bundle of bottles that alerts any nearby creatures of her location. Can't really blame her. I'd have fallen for that too. Recognizing her mistake, she immediately tells the kids to run away. Unfortunately though, Marcus displays his lack of composure and awareness when he falls victim to a bear trap hidden behind some logs and screams like he gets paid for each decibel. Evelyn quickly covers his mouth to keep him quiet, and in return, he tries to swallow her hand in one bite. After Evelyn releases the bear trap, Marcus screams again, and one of the creatures quickly bursts through the fence and rushes towards them. Showcasing some urgency, Reagan pulls out the amplifier and blasts the sound straight towards the creature, forcing it into some interpretive dancing that allows Evelyn to shoot it in the head with the shotgun. Teamwork! As another creature chases after them, the family runs into a demolished building where a masked man disregards health and safety protocols to reinforce Evelyn's silence. He then grabs and carries Marcus and leads them through a warehouse, down a pipe, and into an oven where they wait for the creature to leave. Inside, the man tells them that they cannot stay there, but Evelyn's deductive skills uncover his identity as Emmett, one of their friends from before all this started. Targeting his emotions, she manipulates him by showing him her newborn baby to let them stay. As he considers her pleas, however, his watch beeps and he immediately opens the door to let fresh air inside. Remember that. A bit later, as Marcus tries to rest, he listens to static on the radio, but ends up hearing a song as well, so Evelyn and Reagan question whether there are other people out there somewhere sending out this signal. However, since he's already heard this song before, Emmett's cynicism reveals itself when he refutes their optimism, adamantly declaring that there is nothing left. At least nothing worth saving.
Nothing left.
At night, Reagan interrupts Marcus from his slumber and demonstrates the power of inheritance when she tells him that the song he heard is actually a message of where to find more survivors, an island a day's walk away, revealing deductive skills just like her mother. She also devises a plan to replace the song on the radio with the feedback from her hearing aid, finally providing a weapon for humanity to combat the aliens. In the morning, despite her brother's wishes, Reagan displays a sense of responsibility and embarks on a solitary journey to the mysterious island, taking the amplifier and shotgun with her as protection. Nice preparation! After realizing Reagan's left, Evelyn begs Emmett to find and bring her back, showcasing her persuasiveness when she somehow convinces him to do so, even though he seems very annoyed by it. Meanwhile, as Reagan walks through an abandoned train, she tries to grab a first aid kit hanging on the wall, but as she pulls it back, a corpse falls from behind the door and Reagan collapses to the ground. Unfortunately, all the noise from this encounter attracts one of the creatures and it slowly approaches from her side. When she finally notices it, she hastily amplifies her hearing aid to weaken the creature, but only manages to graze its head when she fires the shotgun, leaving herself open to retaliation as she tries to reload. Right as the creature prepares to strike though, Emmett arrives just in time and shoots it in the head. He's lucky it didn't go all the way through and hit her too. After they get away, Emmett tells her that she has to go back, but she once again repeats her mother's success when she plays on his emotions and persuades him to join her on her mission to save the world, telling him he couldn't do more to help his now deceased wife before, but now he can. Meanwhile, Evelyn travels back home for more supplies and leaves Marcus alone with the baby, who himself decides to look for more supplies and leaves the baby alone with nobody. So when will it be the baby's turn? As he patrols the warehouse, he reinforces the clumsiness he showed in the first film when he discovers the corpse and collapses to the floor in shock. Man, this family is really scared of dead bodies. Hearing another creature close by, Marcus jumps into the pipe, grabs his brother, and hides back inside the oven, his poor mindfulness causing him to forget about the external lock and trapping himself inside. When the creature follows after him, it crashes into the floor, creating a sound that draws Evelyn into the warehouse to save her children. Displaying strong ingenuity, she analyzes the area before placing a gas tank just outside the entrance and firing a gun in the air to draw the creature away from the hideout. When it gets close, she shoots the gas tank, which sets the creature on fire, but somehow doesn't kill it. These things tough as hell! As the blind creature approaches, she stands still and waits for the sprinklers to start so she can move under the sound of the water, allowing her to enter the hideout and open the oven right before Marcus suffocates. When the creature finally jumps in after her, she closes the door again but remembers to block the lock so it doesn't trap them inside. Alright man, I gotta admit, that whole sequence was very impressive. Meanwhile, Emmett and Reagan arrive at the docks in search of a boat. Right at the end though, they see a child sitting alone, and Emmett appears to show some compassion when he tries to help her. Unfortunately though, the film makes an unintentional ad for birth control when the kid sets up a trap by quickly tying a collection of bottles around Emmett's neck and leaving him as bait for one of the creatures. More people come forward and start dragging Reagan away, but Emmett silently signals for her to dive into the water, creating a splash that attracts one of the creatures towards the dock, causing it to kill nearly everyone there. Demonstrating some ruthlessness, Emmett then runs up to one of the kidnappers and stabs him in the leg, so he screams and provides him a distraction as he dives into the water as well, after which he and Reagan take a boat to the island broadcasting the signal. Emmett even shows that he had put Reagan's hearing aid into his mouth before jumping into the water, showcasing some unexpected but valuable mindfulness. I can't even lie, man, the characters are going crazy in this one. When they arrive at the island, they move with caution and discover a pretty large group of people living unexpectedly normal lives, not concerned with staying silent like everyone else since the creatures can't swim. After meeting some of the people though, Emmett discovers a boat from the dock and realizes that one of the creatures has made its way onto the island, so he warns everyone to get inside before it starts ripping them apart. He and Reagan then drive to the radio station, honking the horn to draw the creature away from everyone else. Once they arrive, Reagan slowly makes her way towards the microphone and then slams her hearing aid on top of it, causing the creature to start tweaking. Taking advantage of its vulnerability, Reagan then beats it to death with a pole. At the hideout, Marcus notices that the song has turned into the feedback from Reagan's hearing aid, so he uses the amplifier to do the same thing to the creature there, this time killing it with a gunshot to the head. And that's the film. With 4 remaining survivors, A Quiet Place Part 2 adds a C tier and A tier and 2 S tier characters to its roster, both Evelyn and Reagan improving upon their performances in the first film, with Marcus's disappointing ass staying the same. Emmett joins the crew and instantly becomes one of Survivor Scale's most resilient characters, perfectly suited for post-apocalyptic films and deservedly earning an S tier rating. Now it's time to give out the awards. Well, one award and one whatever the opposite of an award is. First off, the Ultimate Survivor Award goes to the character most likely to survive a random horror movie, and I'm giving this to the person who demonstrated the most versatility, displaying strong composure, ingenuity, and adaptability, with a sample size covering this film and the last. Evelyn is the Ultimate Survivor. The first kill award goes to the character least likely to survive a random horror movie, and I'm giving this to the most useless character in this film, the only one with more negatives than positives. Marcus is the first kill. But that's it. The average ranking for this cast was A tier. An outstanding collection of characters, with pretty much everyone having a strong performance. Though I wasn't a big fan of the first film, I quite enjoyed this one. The tension worked a lot better this time around, allowing the characters to prove their worth. And all of them did. Well, except for Marcus. Thanks for watching.